The 805 Focus is brought to you in part by Nonprofit Connect. Nonprofit Connect provides superior leadership tools and resources so nonprofit leaders and board members can make valuable decisions to move their organization forward to a sustainable and vibrant future. More information on services online at nonprofitconnect.org.
Welcome to 805 Focus. I'm Dr. Cinder Sinclair with Nonprofit Connect, and we will be bringing you the latest on your favorite nonprofits, so get ready to be inspired. Our special guest today is Reina Palta, and Reina is the president of Junior League of Santa Barbara. Welcome, Reina.
Thank you so much for having us on today. We're so excited to be here to talk about our organization.
And I'm so glad to hear about it because I know you folks are doing some really important, amazing work.
Oh, yes.
So tell us about that.
Absolutely. The Junior League of Santa Barbara is an organization that's been here for over 97 years in Santa Barbara County. Yes. We've been here for a long time. We've been through the ups, downs, and everything in between here in Santa Barbara, including a pandemic now.
Yes.
We're lucky enough to be a member-driven, women's volunteer-driven organization, and we really just love the work that we do here in the community. We have so many different projects, but there are definitely a few that I specifically want to ensure everybody knows about.
Oh, good. Now, I've read a lot about, and I was very impressed with, the human trafficking work that you do.
Oh, yes. It's really incredible work that we do. So several years back, we went through the process of thinking about a new focus area. So our previous focus area was on childhood literacy.
Oh, okay.
And we were involved in implementing the Children's Library at the Downtown Public Library in Santa Barbara.
Yes, I remember that.
And it's just a wonderful space that really children and families continue to go to. I go to with my own children. And so at that time, we really kind of started thinking, okay, is children's literacy a focus that we continue to need in our county, in our community? And we really felt, there's something else calling us here. There's something else calling us here. And we had a couple of really incredible members who got connected with the Human Trafficking Task Force here in town. And we connected with them, we were educated by them, and we began the process of educating our members about human trafficking, because we really wanted to bring our whole membership behind what we were going to do next. So what we did next was we spent about a year doing, probably about 100-page report that we presented to our membership. And we asked them to say, hey, let's change our focus from childhood literacy over to human trafficking and preventing the exploitation of women and girls in our community.
Oh, gosh.
Which is kind of a broad umbrella. And so we were like, okay, we're not super sure where we're gonna go next, but we had some really good ideas. And fortuitously, we were connected with our current strategic partner, 4Kids2 Kids.
Oh.
They're also a nonprofit, a 501c3, and they are direct program providers for minor female victims of trafficking. And I should say, not victims, we like to call them survivors of trafficking.
That is better, isn't it?
It has a better sentiment, but also it focuses on their future, not their past.
Yes, that's
and
a good
so,
point.
4Kids2 Kids had an incredible program down in Ventura County that they were successfully running. Many of the state licensing boards were really impressed with the program, and we thought, I remember distinctly sitting around the table with a past president just thinking, hey, how crazy would it be if we brought that up here to Santa Barbara County? And we had no idea what we were doing. She works in a different field, I work in a different field, and so do so many of our members, and we just said to ourselves, let's see if we can make it happen. It was a little scary. We presented it to our membership. Our membership totally voted in. It was so exciting and just a momentous occasion. And then 7 days later, we held our gala. And in one night, I think we raised over $160,000 towards the startup costs. And just getting that a week later really showed us our community and our membership were really behind this cause of ensuring that young women who have survived such a horrific trauma have this opportunity to grow in a number of different ways and just really achieve their potential, not just where they are.
Yeah.
It's just so cool.
Now, when did this happen? When did you make that switch?
So this was in March of 2018.
Oh.
Yes. So we made our focus area switch in 2017. And then we voted in our new signature project about a year later after educating our members in 2018.
I love it that you educated them first.
Yes, and it's actually something that we continue to do every year. We make sure that every new member to the Junior League of Santa Barbara goes through what we call our focus area training program.
Oh,
we actually won an award for our focus area training program and from our parent organization, which is Association of Junior Leagues International, for the work that we did. And it's taken several forms, but sometimes we have hosted panels where a lot of our colleagues on the Human Trafficking Task Force have spoken just kind of from their direct expertise from law enforcement, from service providers, from social work, and so many different other avenues. And it's been really incredible to have their support along the way in educating our members throughout the years.
Yeah, from their different vantage points.
Yes.
That is great. How many members do you have?
We currently have about 90 what we call active members, so people who are regularly involved in our events and our programs. And then we have about 300 what we call sustaining members. So they have been a part of the Junior League of Santa Barbara for about 7 years, and then they elect to go to sustaining, which means they don't kind of do things super regularly anymore, but they do meet among themselves for social events and smaller volunteer projects. But we have some sustainers, who are in their 70s and just all the way down into their 20s. So our membership is truly diverse in age, which is really cool. Yeah.
So let's say somebody's watching this and they want to find out more about your organization, or they want to maybe become a member, or they want to help out, or that sort of thing. They can go to your website and find out all about that.
Sure. Our website is jlsantabarbara.org. We also have an email address, join@jlsantabarbara.org, if you're interested in joining our organization. And some people do kind of tend to think that joining an organization with requirements can be a little daunting, especially if you're a working professional or you're a young mother. However, we really try to work with everybody where they are and be as flexible as we possibly can be. We're actually kind of reviewing our process of requirements. And then we always say, if you don't have the time to join our organization, stay connected with us. There's always an opportunity to donate, but even, and not just financially speaking, kind of donate to us in kind through partnerships and services and things like that.
But the fact is, Junior League is a 501c3 nonprofit. You accept financial donations that are tax deductible. So once again, they can go on your website.
Absolutely.
And I bet you have a Donate Now button.
We sure do. We sure do. We actually something that we're particularly proud of is our community fund, which we just opened. Our community fund is a managed investment fund through our partners at Laguna Capital Management. We self-funded about $1,500 into the account, and we're growing it annually in that investment, and we're seeking community donations to grow that total pie to about $35,000, because we have an upcoming centennial in 2025. And we really hope to make a major gift to our community in our centennial through a granting program that we've had going on now for 32 years. In our centennial, we'll also be celebrating 35 years of that granting program.
Wow, that's
So we
exciting.
really want to make sure that we give back to the Santa Barbara community, because our organization is all about promoting volunteerism and impacting our community. Yeah.
So do you focus only on Santa Barbara proper, or do you do the whole county, or how does
So
that work?
typically our members come from kind of closer to what we call South County. We do have some members actually in Ventura County. We have a member who lives all the way down in Oxnard.
Oh, golly.
And a couple who live in Ventura, which is fun. They come on up for our events. So we always say, hey, if you live in Ventura County, we have people who make it work. We do try to reach North County, but again, it is hard when most of our members kind of live in the South County. However, through the Human Trafficking Task Force, we definitely get to have a little bit of an impact in North County.
Yeah, well, I think that would be pretty important.
Yes, exactly, because there are a lot of kind of what we call hot spots for trafficking activity up in North County. So it's important to really stay educated and know what's going on in the whole county for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Gosh, well, I bet you have a story or two you could share with us.
Oh, I have several stories from my work in the Junior League of Santa Barbara. I think one of the things that I like to think about, I guess firstly I should say that I never felt or wanted necessarily to be the president or leader of an organization, but I just really uniquely and naturally found myself in a place to be the leader of an organization, of an incredible organization with a legacy in Santa Barbara. So it is really just my pleasure to serve in this role. And I think all of the ways that I was particularly prepared for this were just little things that happened along the way. So for example, we haven't had our annual gala in a couple of years, but at our annual gala every year, we celebrate a Woman of the Year, which requires one to get up and say a big speech in front of a room full of people who are just dressed to the nines and look fabulous. And I was just so nervous to make that speech. But when I got up there, I got so just overcome with how incredible the particular woman I was who I was awarding, and she just does some incredible work for our community. And it was that moment that I was like, oh, it's not about me. It's about our community and what we do and honoring this woman. And now I don't have a problem talking to anyone about anything. So I have to say it's been a great training opportunity for me.
Oh, gosh,
just personally speaking. But I think additionally, just kind of a little bit more of a touching and sentimental story I would love to share with you. I hope you don't mind.
I would love it, yeah.
So we recently, I did mention earlier that we have a strategic partner for Kids to Kids.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Chris Hart is the founder and the president over the organization. Lori Voss is the CEO over the organization. And I had asked them at this September past meeting if they might bring their staff in to talk to our members about the work they do with the girls who are survivors of trafficking in Safe House Santa Barbara. And not only did they do that, but they also brought a survivor with them. And she shared with us her story.
Oh, man.
And hers, there was not a dry eye. And I mean, my arms were just full of goosebumps. And I have heard many stories like this, but this particular story was touching to me because it was right here in Santa Barbara. She told us how she was living on State Street. She was homeless. She was a minor. I believe she was maybe 15 or 16 at the time. And she, got involved in trafficking, was picked up by a trafficker. Typically within 48 hours of a young female being homeless, they are picked up by a trafficker because they need their basic needs fulfilled. So thankfully, this particular young woman was connected with Safe House, and so she was brought into Safe House. She graduated the program, and she is now working to get her first car, and she is just doing phenomenally. And she was so nervous to tell her story, but I mean, I don't think we all just wanted to. Of course, we couldn't because of COVID and the pandemic, but we all just wanted to run up to her and give her a big hug. And she just said, "I've heard about the Junior League and how you guys are supporting us behind the scenes, and I just wanted to say thank you so much." And that's why we're here. That's why we do it.
That is sweet.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Safe House.
Yes.
Tell us about some of the other components of the your project.
Sure. So Safe House is not just a place to live. It is a short-term residential and therapeutic program. Short-term because it's outcome driven and we want to focus on the outcome. They're not going to kick anyone out at the end of the program so long as, if they're still working towards their outcomes. What kind of happens is that they're vetted to make sure that this particular home is appropriate for them, that they don't need kind of a higher level of care. And then they go through the program, they work the program. The staff at 4Kids2Kids are absolutely incredible, just love the girls. And then once they graduate from the program, they can move into a second home, which is called a transition age youth home, where they have a little bit more independence. Of course, when they move into the transition age youth home, they have to be 18, so technically they're an adult. But then they're under 21, so they're in that period where, hey, I think about myself when I was 18, I still needed some support.
Oh, yeah.
And just guidance through life, and so these girls do as well. Young women, I should say. These young women do as well. And so they live with actually house parents. And there's 6 of them in the home. And then, they help them achieve their GED if they haven't already done that, to enroll in vocational school, to kind of start thinking about things like banking and savings accounts and, all of those things that really, it takes a young person quite a while to really get their head all wrapped around. So it's a really incredible series of programs that we're supporting. And we haven't done any hands-on work at either Safe House or the other house, which I don't think I said the name of, which is Living Arrows, since the pandemic because of, protocol and things like that. But we have been every month meeting with the girls at Safe House and taking them out. We did a walk at the Botanic Garden. We went to the zoo together. We went paddleboarding together. So we really do try to still meet with them because, just any adult connection, whether you've been through a trauma or not, is an incredible one and an opportunity for mentorship, which is something we really value.
Gosh, that is just amazing. So
Thank you.
All of your members help with all of those programs, like teaching the checking account list. So some of your members help with that, or is that the other organization, 4Kids2Kids, that?
So right now, 4Kids2Kids is the organization kind of facilitating all that, but we cannot wait until we can provide our expertise. We have members who, are in the mortgage business, who are in who are attorneys, who are real estate professionals, who are teachers. Myself, I have a background in statistics, and so we have members with varied expertise, and we just can't wait until we can really dive in and truly mentor on a more specific kind of a level. Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah.
And so, it's amazing you've accomplished all of this in what, 3 years, 4?
It's nothing short of miraculous, really.
Yeah.
Our partnership with 4Kids2Kids was really just the game changer. And then I would say the will of our membership and just our willingness to think about something crazy and say, okay, it's not that crazy. Let's break it down. Let's make a plan. Let's get it done, And we were the organization to get it done first here in the county. Safe House was actually the first short-term residential facility here in the county. We're really proud of that.
So it's an actual house. You guys own it?
We do not own it. We facilitated an investor to purchase the home, and the investor then created a lease with 4Kids2Kids. That way they kind of have their own separate financial arrangement, and it's a long-term lease. And we had negotiated so that we would basically so that Safe House would be able to be there for a long time, and we wouldn't have to worry about finding a new place, and just making sure continuity of care is there for the girls, because that's so important, continuity.
Mm-hmm. Can you imagine if you folks didn't have that vision a few years ago?
Yeah.
Or the members said, nah, we kind of like childhood literacy.
Yeah.
But no, man, everybody jumped in there.
Life would be different.
Everything you have done.
Life would be different. We have, I believe, impacted over 80 clients between both Safe House and Living Arrows to date, which 80 lives. I like to say that 80 lives, 80 people, 80 girls, young women. It's just really really incredible when you come to think about it. So many people just don't even know that this is a problem here in our county.
Right.
On State Street, just here and not so far away. It's right here in our community, and we need to take care of our community. We need to be accountable to the young women, who need our help.
So do you have any, I don't know, marketing or some kind of way to get that story out to the general population?
Sure. Yeah, we actually just started just this past year because starting everything up just really happened so fast.
Yeah.
And then we said, hey, we really should have a publication where we regularly update people about just the status, how Safe House is doing, how Living Arrows is doing. And so we work with 4Kids, 2Kids. We speak with them about once a month to see, how the girls are doing. We don't have all of their, specific personally identifying information, but we do hear about just generally how they're doing, if they have a birthday coming up. And then we kind of just compile those numbers in a very appropriate and safe way. And then we present it in what we call a Signature Project newsletter, where we kind of just update. And then we can also just kind of talk about some of the little programs that we help facilitate at Safe House Santa Barbara. There's another wonderful nonprofit in town you might be familiar with, Apples to Zucchini Cooking School.
Wait, say it again?
Apples to Zucchini Cooking School.
Oh, I haven't heard of it.
Oh, you've got to talk to Nancy March. She's absolutely wonderful. She's the founder, and she's also a former Junior League of Santa Barbara member. So she teaches healthy cooking to kids, to adults in Santa Barbara County. So we actually facilitated for them to go over to Safe House and do a program with the girls over there, which is really cool. And so just through all of these connections we have, we work with so many nonprofits, and I just love watching people connect. Just putting two people together and just stepping out of their way and watching what happens. It's really cool.
Oh, Raina, thank you for all of the amazing work that you're doing.
Oh, you're too kind.
In our community. Gee.
Thank you very much. It's truly our pleasure. I think I speak for every single one of our members that we're just, we're very blessed to be in a position to help, and here we are. Once you see something, you can't turn away from it. And we really feel that about our focus.
Well, and thank you for being on our show today to share the
you.
message with all of our viewers.
I'm so happy to be here.
And thank you for joining us on 805 Focus, and we'll see you next time.